Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today I'm going to give you another great workout you can do in your home with limited space. We're actually going to start on a bench with one weight. So it's going to be a little bit heavier weight because we're going to be doing a row with it. So grab a tube and a set of smaller dumbbells, one heavier, and a fit ball, and that should be good for today. So we're going to start on the bench here. Make sure you remember you always come into these workouts warmed up and ready to go, so your muscles are loose and warm, and it's the best way to avoid injury. So we're going to put one knee and one hand on your bench. So if you don't have a bench, you can do it on the side of your bed. You can do it on the side of your coffee table. Just put like a pillow under your knee. But our goal is to have a nice flat back. We're going to drop the weight off the side and gently row up and drop it down slowly. So we're going to drive your elbow toward the ceiling each repetition. 4, nice and slowly both directions. Now your goal is to maintain a nice flat back so that you're not twisting this way and you're not coming down this way. You're keeping everything in alignment. 7, 8, 9, and 10. The other thing is, remember, keeping your head in alignment too, so you're not staring up like this and wrenching your neck and not looking down, staring at your arm. Now we'll just switch sides of the bench. If you're on your bed, you can just turn around. So the same side, hand and knee are on the bench, and then we're going to drive that opposite elbow towards the ceiling, really thinking about squeezing your shoulder blade towards your spine. 5, keeping your shoulder down away from your ear. Nice and slowly resist that gravity on the way down. Don't let the gravity take over. 9 and 10. Good. All right, you can leave that weight right on the bench there. Now we're going to lower down to the floor and use the ball. We're going to put the ball underneath your feet here. Let me make sure I've got my camera low enough. There we go. Okay, we're going to do a bridge with your feet on the ball. Move my bench over just a little. So lie down on your back, feet on top of the ball, and we're going to go up into a bridge. Now, when you do a bridge on the ball like this, you want to be lying flat. The closer the ball is to your knees, the easier it is. The further out on your feet, the harder. So I usually recommend people start a little bit closer in, closer to your knees. And when you lift up, think about squeezing your glutes. You're going to lift up into a straight line. Breathe. Now, if you are doing this, I want you to hold it for a good 5 seconds. You're going to have a little bit of a balance challenge, calling in a little bit more core. Now, if you can do this and you feel pretty confident in it and you want to add a little hamstring curl, go ahead and try that. If it's too much, just keep doing the bridge. So this gets, you squeeze those glutes and then you activate those hamstrings. So this is a great large muscle group for your hamstrings and your glutes to all work synergistically here. Hold that bridge and then come back down and release. Remember, if this is too much for those hamstring curls, just hold that bridge for a good 5 seconds and then come back down. Nice and slowly both ways, remembering to really focus on squeezing those glutes as you come up. Let's do one more. Up and release. Okay, good. Now, if you start to feel like you're getting a hamstring cramp, you can always just pull that straight back like that. Rest the other one. And then make sure you stretch really good at the end of the session to make sure you get a good hamstring stretch. Okay, now we're going to stand back up. So make sure you take a moment to sit up and then be slow into transitioning to your upright position so that you don't get lightheaded. So one knee, press up. All right. Now we're going to grab that other set of dumbbells I talked about, and we're going to do lateral raises. So we're going to work on your shoulders a little bit here. If you can and you feel confident in your balance, let's try a little bit of a balance challenge at the same time. So we'll do a tandem stance, and then we're going to lift off to the sides. I think my camera is a little bit off kilter here. Let's see if I can get that straightened out just a little. If not, you just look at me kind of sideways. Okay, so tandem stance. Now before I start any motion, think about pulling your shoulders down and back, keeping your shoulders down away from your ears, and then we're going to go straight out to the side. So a lateral raise. Now when you go, stop here. You don't need to go above the height of your shoulders. So we're going to stop about shoulder height. If this bothers your shoulders, you can try bringing it a little bit forward. So instead of going straight out to the side, you can go a little bit forward. So I usually call it more of a diagonal. And if that still hurts your shoulders, first of all, try a lighter weight. Or you can bring your weights here and lift up like this. So you're shortening your lever for those lateral raises. So find one of those along there that you can do comfortably that's still challenging those shoulder muscles. Your deltoids is what we're working here. One more. Nice and slowly on the way back down. Good. Okay, now we're gonna lower back down to the floor again. I'm gonna see if I can straighten that out a little. Okay, we're going to do a bird dog. So we're gonna be on your hands and knees. I'm gonna tie this back so we can see here. On your hands and knees, hands directly beneath your shoulders, knees directly beneath your hips. Now, I've done these in the past, but I'm going to review. So you start off with reaching one arm forward and the opposite hand back. So I'm trying to make a nice straight line with my hand all the way through my heel. And then slowly release, reach out the opposite way. Now also, I am aiming to have a nice flat back. So I don't want to reach out and be falling like this. If you are, if it's just way too much to balance, you can start by just doing your legs. Or just your arms. You could alternate too. The other thing is if you have shoulder pain reaching forward like this, you can just reach your leg back and then reach your hand up like this. So that you're still having to engage that posterior chain, and you're still getting the benefit of the balance. You're just not putting any pressure on that shoulder that's reaching forward. So find along there what works for you without pain and without fear of falling. Try to hold it for a nice, good 5 seconds. Now we're working your entire posterior chain here. So all the way from your shoulder, your upper back, your low back, your legs. There's a lot of things at work here. Your glutes, lots of muscle groups without going into too much detail. I think I've got one more on each side. Try to hold it nice and steady. And remember to keep breathing, keeping your head in alignment too. So you're not looking down here and you're not looking up here. I say that a lot, but it's a good reminder to keep that head in alignment with the rest of your spine. You want your cervical spine to be as protected as the rest of it. Okay, now we're gonna stand back up and we're gonna go over, remember to transition slowly to standing up. We're gonna do some biceps curls with tubing today. So, I've got my tube low in my doorway here, set up with my handles. And we're gonna stagger your feet to protect your back. I just want 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. You don't have to be in a tandem stance or anything. Just, a nice wide stance, but still 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. And we're going to do bicep curls this way. So your arms might be out at an angle just a little bit. depending on the strength of your band and how close you're standing. And we're going to straighten out your arms here. Anchor those elbows right in your sides there. Pull them all the way up to your shoulders and then slowly back down. 5, 6, 7. Remember to stagger those feet. That'll help protect your low back. 9 and 10. Watch your shoulders on that one. Make sure you don't do this to curl those biceps, and keep those shoulders down, just working that elbow and those biceps there. Okay, good. Now we're going to end with a balance challenge, and we're going to do an airplane hold. So we've done these in the past, but I'm going to review. I'm going to have you stand on one foot, and we're going to tip over. There we go. Like you're in an airplane, or like you're making your body like an airplane. So stand on one foot. I always recommend doing this next to something sturdy. The best place to do it, like I always say, is the kitchen counter, like your kitchen sink, because you can lean over and it's right there. So like in my gym, we use the bar. It's all along the length of your arms here, but if you don't have that where you're watching this, you can do it next to, a sturdy piece of workout equipment. You can do it next to a wall. You can use a chair. There's a lot of things you can use, but I want you to stand on one foot, pull those shoulders back, gently start to tip over. Now, if this is all the further you go, that's fine. If you can hold it right here, and then you can kind of use this back foot kind of like a kickstand, but I want you to tip over where you feel comfortable holding a balance challenge. So you're challenging yourself, but you're not in pain or in fear. So holding, remember you're next to something sturdy if you need it, if you need to reach out. We're going to work on one side for about 30 seconds. So this one is just a hold. Sometimes we tip over back and forth. If you're here, that's okay. I want you to work on it. Even if you're touching down, don't stop just because you had to touch down. I want you to work on it for a full 30 seconds. All right, now we're going to switch sides. Pull those shoulders back, pull your head back. Many times what happens when we're doing balance challenges is people kind of come in to themselves here, right? So they kind of want to collapse in. So you really want to pull back, center that head, be nice and tall and strong, and then start to do your tip over. So hold it somewhere along your comfort line and challenge line. There's kind of a fine line there where you are challenging yourself, but not to the point of danger. So notice that I'm just tipping at the hips here. The only joint moving is my left hip. My right hip actually is staying in line with the rest of my torso, my body. Take some nice deep breaths. Remember to keep those shoulders back, keep your chin tucked. Whoops. We're going to work on it for about 30 seconds. So the other thing you're probably noticing is this standing leg is getting a lot of work. It's a good hip stabilizer. When you tip further forward, your hamstrings are engaging. You'll probably especially notice that if you're doing those hamstring curls. You're getting a lot of challenge in that one seemingly simple exercise. Okay, good. All right, repeat through them a couple more times. Remember, you can add some cardio in between to really get your heart rate up and make it a good full workout, and then repeat through a couple more times. Remember to follow up with those stretches, especially those hamstring stretches today, and then get a good cool down, and remember to drink lots of water. All right, keep moving, everybody. Thank you so much.